I'll see it.
All right, so we should be going live.
Yep.
It's gonna come up right now. So let's confirm it first.
Yep.
It should be live.
Yep.
Okay. All right, everyone. Welcome to our live session on Job Skills Share with Brad Williams. Right? That's your name, right, Brad?
Bradley, but you can call me Brad.
Okay, Brad. So first of all, I want to say thank you, Brad, for joining in today. And then I want to say thank you to KevTech for joining in, and also Hefa. She's also a part of this community. I want to say thank you to everybody. So basically, this live session is about what? It's about a success story of someone who wants to inspire other people that are going through the same phase, or they could be going through different phases. What are we talking about? We're talking about basically getting into IT as a beginner, right? Brad, am I correct, Brad?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So basically that's what we are going to discuss today. The whole theme is about Brad. And so this is actually an episode 1. Episode 1 means that we are going to capture his journey. Like, this is the first time he's going to share his experience with us before landing a job. How did he landed the job? All the difficulties that he faced and what really helped him. We're going to talk all of that stuff today in this episode. And then we're going to kind of go after Brad after like 2 months. Hey, Brad, let's do another second episode. So let's do another second. And in that, we will learn more about what did he learn, so then he can tell people from episode 1 that, okay, this is what I told you guys, but now I feel like this. And then we will continue to do that with him as long as we know him, right? So thank you, Brad, for joining in. So before we start into this questions and answer kind of thing, I would like you to introduce yourself. Like, just take us back from where you didn't know us and you were somewhere, like in the beginning, you wanted to start the career. So take us back, way back. Give us that. Yes. So give us that story. And in between, we may stop you and we'll ask you questions so then we can learn more about you.
All right. So, back in high school, around like 10th grade or so, I actually told my parents I said I want to be an accountant or something, or like a pilot, which is something I really want to do, a pilot, travel around the world and stuff. But then back in like the middle of 10th grade, our school introduced us to Career Career and Tech Center, which is what high schoolers went to like do like carpentry, computer science, stuff like that. And I took classes on like the basic level, so I wasn't doing like the advanced class or anything like that. I didn't feel there was a need for it. And I was interested in the computer science course, so programming and things like that. And then, so I applied for the computer science. I got put on the waiting list because I wasn't in the higher rank class, like AP and honors. I just took the regular basic level. And I got denied for that. I actually did some self-study on like computer science, like Python I did, since I got denied. So I did some self-study on that. And then my counselor in high school told me I could do college full-time in my senior year. But she said, with your GPA not being as high, she said you need to bring it up a little bit. And then that's when I brought it up. I did college my full-time year, and the college had something called cybersecurity. And cybersecurity really interested me. And then I met with the director at the college for cybersecurity. And I said, look, like, what do I need to do to get in this program and succeed? He says, try and do some self-study on things, try and land an intern within cyber. We can help you get land an intern through us. So I said, okay. And he said, certifications are a big thing. And back then I did not know you all. And I thought certifications was everything to this market, which obviously now it's not. It's all about getting that hands-on experience. He told me, get some certifications and things. So I said, okay. So I started studying for my Security Plus, because one of my friends told me about that. And I studied for the Security Plus and I failed it. So I said, let me take a step back. Let me learn the A Plus, since Security Plus is way out of my.
It was just too much. Okay.
Too much information for me.
Okay.
And so I did the A Plus. I failed that again. So I said, now let me take a step back again and see what am I doing wrong here? And then that's when I was searching on YouTube, A Plus studies, IT beginner, and that's when I found you, Danish.
Okay. So before that, what was your feeling at that time? Were you frustrated? Because I feel like it seems like let's talk about failures right now. Let's just say, okay, from high school, you said that you got into this, you got into another program, then you failed the first one, you failed the second. was there any frustration? Because I feel like if, as a normal human being, I would be frustrated, right? As
I
an
was
actor,
actually very frustrated. I was about to just give up completely and be like, screw all this, I'm done.
okay,
I
so
was
you
very
were gonna just totally give up on
right.
because
Really
how
give up.
you started, right? And then you got into this program, and it seems like because of this so much out there, like Security Plus was just too much for you, right?
Right.
And then you were like, that's too much, and so you already started making a decision in your head that nah, that's not me. I'm
Right.
gonna
I was like,
okay.
and this field is just way too much. I mean, there's so much to learn. It's just where do I even begin at?
How did you find us then? What were you doing to when you found
I was
us?
actually just Googling, and then I found your job Skillshare. And
Okay.
I went on your website, and then I saw all the free stuff, and then I saw you had to pay X amount of dollars to get the videos
The
and stuff.
plus
So
membership or the premium, yes, for labs. Yep. Okay.
I was like, I have the money for all this, but I do not want to throw all this money out at one
Yes.
time because
Good job.
I haven't heard any other stories from people. And then I saw Haifa's story, so I was like, maybe
You were little like I would say worried, like yeah, wait, like what is this program? Like why should I spend money in that? But I need to know about it, right? Okay, good.
But I never heard about you. I was like, do I really want to spend this X amount of dollars for this? And then I saw Haifa's story. I was like, maybe I will want to do this. And then
Haifa is here today. All right.
and then you might have remembered, but I messaged you. I said, where do I get started at? Do you want me to do this IT fundamentals? Do you want me to start this help desk? Where do you want me to go? So that's when I started doing the fundamentals course, and then that's how I got to here. And then I saw your internship pop up. I said, I got to get on this because, as we all know, if your resume does not have IT experience on it, it's going to be very hard for you to even get that phone call screening.
So now, so I want to capture the feelings over here too, just in between. So now, when you finish the fundamental, it seems like fundamental, you finished it. What were you feeling then? Like I'm sure you wanted to. What was your like? Was it the same type of feeling that no, this is not working, or is it like okay, it's working, but it's not enough? Well, what were you?
It was actually working. There was a lot in it, but I feel like it kind of grasped me toward like one side of the IT side, other than the other, and like kind of like the help desk level stuff, like Active Directory, Office 365, things like that. Then I started doing Indeed searches and stuff, and it actually showed me like all those Active Directory, Exchange, Office, stuff like that. I feel like
so what I'm getting is that you were just going with the flow, with our normal flow, where we tell people that you should start with fundamental, and when people come to us like, hey, should I invest in plus or premium, we say no, don't do that. First go to fundamental if you like a program or not, or maybe you like the free program, just keep doing that. So what so what I'm thinking here, that you were doing that and you kind of found an opportunity on internship. Is that am I correct? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So then what happened? Then you got into internship. Then what was the?
I got the internship and I contacted you. I said, should I start applying? I was working as a cashier. Then I switched to overnight stalker. I said, this is just not for me anymore. I feel like I have the experience of basic level 1. I said, let me just start applying. And that's why I just started sending out applications.
That's actually another point that you said that you were a cashier.
So customer service.
So you had a different job before this, and that's customer service job. And I believe, if I remember correctly, you said that you were a very hardworking person in that, customer service environment. So give us a little background on that. What happened there? Like, why did you want to switch?
Well, I mean, the main reason I wanted to switch because I was tired of working into the grocery store. The managers weren't that great, and I was kind of just getting fed up with myself. I was actually thinking about transferring over to another job in customer service and just leaving that company because the company was not all that great. So I said, I got to get myself out of this headache going in every day. I didn't even want to go in because of the headaches I had to face with the managers and stuff.
And then you started all this study after that, but while you were doing this, well, like the IT.
I was studying IT while I was doing the grocery store job.
So you already had the mindset of going towards IT career.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I just wanted to make sure that people know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
And then that's when the manager told me about overnight stocking. So I went to that. Less people I had to deal with, and no managers are really around. So I just went to overnight stocking. And then when you told me to start sending out applications, that's when I did. And I got a call from a employment agency. He interviewed with me, and he said, I'll call you back once he gets with the company. I asked him what company it was. He told me he could not tell me until I would get hired or interviewed by them. And he never called me back. So I was like, this is another rejection I had to face.
Okay. So, all right. So we're going towards failures, rejection, right?
Right. So I had Security Plus failure.
But here with this rejection, I felt like there was something happened in between that you were trained to accept rejections now.
Right.
Right. So it wasn't like, screw this, I'm going to give up. I think I remember your conversation too. You're like, I'm gonna go and smash the other ones, right? Like, so
Right.
you were, the feeling was that, because I wanna capture these feelings, because that's very important, right? A lot of people just either give up or get discouraged. So here's a person right in front of you guys. He got failures were before us. Rejection was still with us, and we tell people, like Keftech always say that, Haifa say that rejection will happen even in this platform, but you have to convert that and take it positively. So that's what you did, I guess, right?
Yeah, and I think my main mistake was not preparing for the interview at all. Like I like when I was working at the grocery store, there was really no interview. I just went in. He asked me what days can you work, and I was hired because my mom works for the company too. So they kind of already knew me, so they just like threw me into the company, and that's when I saw how hard working I was, and they were very fortunate to have me.
All right.
And
So
then
now you were like, okay, now I need to prepare myself.
right, so I was like in the interviews, I need to prepare myself because I mean I didn't really know what was going to be thrown at me questions and wise because I
So now
never really had.
before we go into the interview process, because that's very like latest what happened, take
Right.
us back into the internship process. What did you learn from that? Why do you think that internship was internship a part of your success or not? Is that because I want to get a real answers right there.
Oh, it was definitely part of my success. All the things I learned, the Active Directory, the Exchange, the Office, the Windows deployment, which I don't think I'll be using Windows deployment in this job, but I'll probably be using it in future jobs and things when I move
But
forward.
you know the concept now. You're more confident because you've seen something on the top level, right?
Right. And then when I went in for the interview, like I had confidence in what I was going to be talking about because they asked me, they said, "What do you do at this job?" And I felt confidence talking about the things to them.
So a lot of people they may be watching right now and they may be new and they're like, okay, now you know what? Let me just apply to this internship. How real was the internship? Was it more like spoon feeding or was it you really got to do something?
It was actually me having trying to do some like the labs and stuff we had to do, like the RDP did not work. What else was there?
So you were serious and we were serious, right? We didn't take any, we didn't take anything like you don't do it, then you're going to be in trouble. So basically, I want to make that as a point because a lot of people will look at this interview and say, let me just apply to internship because, hey, it's a great way to do it. But there's a requirement for it, right? Everybody needs to know there's some basic level requirement. Brad is not coming straight out of that he needs to know how to use a mouse or how to use a keyboard. He was doing fundamental before, he did some practice before, he went through some failures. So Brad had already, been through some stuff and he was mentally prepared for this. So that's what we tell people that this internship is for people, for people to get a job as even the beginner, but still for the beginner, we have courses for you. So you need to finish that first. Okay.
Right. I think going into the internships, you should be doing the fundamentals course first. So you have a broad understanding of certain things. So when you go into the internship, you're not just clear-minded and know absolutely nothing.
Okay. So in the internship, did you just learn technical things or do you think you also learned some other things? And I believe we also want to give credit over here to Keftech and Haifa because that this internship or this whole community is nothing. It's probably not the same thing. Internship didn't do everything, right? We did mock interviews. You had to see his labs every week and everything right there. So I want to tell people that too, that it's not just that we finished one program or he finished a fundamental. He was in the community where he was getting involved with Keftech using his techniques or probably his templates too or something like that and our templates and I'm sure there's a lot of things going on. What do you say about that?
Well, I mean, actually, at the job interview, I saw they had your magic template out, so I think that actually got me into the interview. And then I saw KevTech post another template. I said, this is more like straightforward, kind of a little bit shorter without all these boxes and things. So I said, let me hand that over to them, and they were actually really pleased with that.
You're the first person to do this, so we can now say that both template works.
Right.
Right. So me and KevTech won't be fighting over this. So that's awesome. That's great information right there. So now take us, let's say now basically we already know we have talked about a lot of these things before too, but take us through the interview process and what was your feeling and how did you tackle that? Like what were you?
Sorry, before you go to the interview process.
Let me just actually switch to Haifa and KevTech now. Before I move too much.
So I don't know if I don't think you answered this, but I know that the internship taught you a lot about technical things and put you under pressure. How did you experience working with a group? How was that for you?
Well, I mean, we did work with a lot of groups. Me, Eddie, and a couple other people we actually created a side chat for things, and we helped each other through the process of things. It was all about the teamwork in that internship. If you don't go ask for help, it's going to be very hard to succeed in this internship role, because a lot of things you're probably not going to know, or that one problem you don't know. So I think the teamwork is very important in this in the internship role.
I was going to say, I know you've only been at the new job for about a week, or
Right.
actually only a week. Have you had to use the skills of working with team members, like at your actual job, not just the internship? Like,
Not really, because we've been just training and things. There's 2 other new hires that I've been working with. It's just been like training, going over things, and a lot of us we know all the basics that they've been going over, like Active Directory, basic networking things, how to ping a computer and things, how to ping a workstation, how to ping a mammogram and things like that. So I mean, it's been very basic stuff currently. The company uses all proprietary software, so a lot of it I don't even know yet. It's going to be
okay.
like how, because I've been talking with the guy. He said a lot of this job is going to be knowing how our systems work, since it's all proprietary software.
That makes sense. Kevtech, do you have anything?
I was gonna say, like, between 1 and 10, like how less stressed out were you when you went to this actual job, because of all the training you did with 2 different platforms or different people when you did the internship? Like between 1 and 10, like, because I know if you're brand new and you don't know anything, you get stressed out and you don't know what to do when you're in the job. So what's your advice on that? Like, how did you feel when you went to your first day at work, and then your second and third day? Did you feel like it wasn't that crazy of a stress, or did you feel like it was somewhat stressful, or you felt like it was a little bit easier for you because of all the training you did, if that makes sense?
It was actually way less stressful, because the first day they were telling us about Active Directory searching users and stuff. And actually, on the first day, I think I mapped around like 6 or 7 drives to my PC. So they said, start mapping these drives. And if I didn't know any of that, I would have been way stressed out. Like, what do I do here? Like, am I really suitable for this job or not? I mean, I don't even know how to map a drive. And then there was basic things like networking, pinging computers and things. So I think it was just.
I was gonna say, like, what got you, like, I'm going off a topic a little bit. Like, what made you decide that the IT is for me, or I should be doing IT? I want to see that. Like, why did you want to go into IT? Like, what was your deciding factor for you? Because, I'm asking this question for you because you're still young. So, like, as a person that's young, they don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. They don't know what job they want to do, and they don't know what career path they want to take. So why did you decide you wanted to work IT as opposed to something else, if that makes sense?
Well, I knew IT, you're always helping people. I love helping people. I love learning new things every day. And there's always something new to learn every day. And I feel like I love helping people. So I feel like a customer service background really helped me. And I really love helping people. The new things, like, you're not doing the same repetitive things every day. It's always something new in IT. There's always a new problem occurring. And I just love being in front of computers, working on things. And I feel like that's what led me to the IT.
That's good, man. That's
So
good.
you made a great point. And sorry, I apologize. I just changed the speaker view to gallery view on YouTube, so we all can be seen. So you made a pretty good point that you went into this job and you were just doing Active Directory stuff, and then you were so happy. Like, I'm not talking about so happy, but you were at least like you're comfortable with doing that because
Right.
you have learned something. So on that point, how important it is to learn the real world skills with certifications or any other thing. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, the real world skills and certifications don't provide much. I mean, it's just like a broad understanding of things. Like the A+ when I studied for the 1001 certification there. I mean, it was just all like computer goes down, blue screen at desk, things like that. It was nothing real world. It's nothing like Active Directory, Office 365, Exchange, resetting passwords, typical common level 1 things. It was more like hardware based stuff, and I was like, this is not suiting me for the job.
Yes, but at the same time, like, we also don't wanna we also want to say we are not promoting certification. We may say it didn't work for you that well, but for other people it may work out. But because if you remember in the internship, at one point we gave all the A plus content, and you guys had to actually go through each chapter to bring out basically a summary out of that chapter, right?
Like a study guide.
Yeah, study guide. So it's also important. So I think it's very important for people to understand that if you are doing A plus certification, then learn the content. Because if you want to help yourself, then learn the content. It's important. Getting a certificate or not, it's not that important. Right. You can go to the jobs and apply for it while you're learning. So don't make that a lock in your head that I have to get that paper and then I'm going to apply. So
you're not.
There you go. And Brad is an example to people that whether they're 18 years old or whether they're 50 years old, it doesn't matter. That's there. So if it's not working for you after, I feel like why wouldn't it work? Because if you go through this kind of programs and this type of targeted resumes, I won't feel good that it's not going to work. I'll be like, no, it's not possible, right, for me, but it can happen. You may be working in an environment or in an area where A plus is considered pretty high, like in that area. Right. Just like when we go to UK, right? A lot of people at KefTech is also used that ITIL is kind of like more valued than other certifications. So we tell people that, hey, if you have ITIL, yes, you may have better chances, right? So if you're going for that certification, then don't stop it. You can go for it. But if you failed it, that doesn't mean you cannot get a job. Here's a perfect example for you guys. He failed it, right? And still he got the job. So we want to make sure that younger folks or people who are transitioning into IT, doesn't matter what age you are, don't make that lock in your head that you need to finish something like certification specifically and then get a job.
And that's how I felt when I was talking to the head of the college in cybersecurity. He's like, you need to get these certifications. And I was like, okay, now that's locked in my head now. It's like all those teachers in high school and telling you things, you got to go to university. I mean, you can start at community college. There's just so many different paths. Just never listen to one person. Do your own research.
There are different type of programs and certifications that validate your skills, by the way. So for people who want to like, okay, do I really need to get Sec Plus on my resume? Or my community college is doing a security program. It says IT, security, internet, whatever it says, right? It's still very valuable. So if you finish that, you put it on your resume, you at least try that, right? The only thing that I'm trying to present over here is just don't assume things in your head, because most of the time, 90% of the time, it's the person who assumed these things and don't apply to these positions, because you already make locks in your head. You already made borders in your head. You already say that I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to get a chance. So that's where I want to present to people that don't think like that. Basically what I'm saying is like, just you learn the skills, you pick up that resume and you throw it out there. And I always use this example. There are 10 companies. Out of 10 companies, 9 will reject you. Before I used to say 8 will reject you. Now I'm saying 9 will reject you. But at least 1 will accept you, right? Not every single company have the same requirements. So.
And this current company, they actually want an associate's degree or 2 years of help desk experience. And I honestly don't have 2 years. I don't have my associates yet. But I still threw my resume out there, took the chance, and here I am now.
So what's your, so you spend about a week or two, you're doing some trainings and everything right now. What are you planning? What is going on in your head right now? What's your plan right now?
Like, what do you mean? Like, what's my plan?
Like everybody, when they're going into, like, let's say this is my new area, I'm just gonna get in there. Are you doing some kind of prep study ahead of the time, or are you trying to analyze their network, or that's what I want to know. Like
yes, we got a big binder of all the training materials and stuff. So the next day, the day before I go into work, I'll read over the training stuff that we're doing for that next day to try and prepare myself. So I'm not going in there clear-minded of what we're doing the next day and things. Analyzing how they're sending images over to different networks, how they're doing those type of things. Always in the group, always reading in the group chat of the problems that they're having. Actually, when I'm at the job, I'm looking at the ticketing system that we use, and I'm analyzing the tickets coming in, the emails coming in, just so I can get a feel for what I'll actually be doing when I am owning myself, actually in the job resolving tickets and things.
Nice.
You looked into your knowledge base? Have you been able to do you guys have a knowledge? I'm sure you do, right?
Yes, I believe we do. We haven't went over in detail what the ticketing system and things is like. It's just been more broad stuff, setting up our computer, setting up our email and stuff like that. Rules in our email. So, I think actually within either the end of tomorrow or Tuesday, we are going into the ticketing system and how that
Okay.
all goes over.
And then the other thing I wanted to ask you was, when you're reading the material in like, okay, so we've established that you haven't finished your associates. You are still in the process of getting it. You've done the IT, the learning, the skills, sorry, and you've studied a little bit of you've studied A+, but you failed the first time, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I studied the core one.
Do you, now that you're like actually in a job, because I get asked this a lot, but I'd like a different perspective. Now that you're actually in the job and reading material from the company, do you feel anxious while reading? Do you feel like you can't understand it? Do you feel like you have a good understanding of it? Like the technical side of it. Does my question make sense?
Yeah, well, I mean, I do feel kind of anxious on reading the new material because it's all proprietary software. It's all medical-based software. So, I mean, I don't know anything about it. So, I mean, it's all training stuff that we have to go over. So, I mean, I do feel kind of anxious on like how the systems work, how the software communicates with the other software and things like that.
Okay.
I was gonna say that if you take anything from this video, like I always mention in every YouTube video, is the fact that he didn't give up. He applied everywhere and he kept going. So like he's 18. Keep that in mind. He's 18, you know. Keep that in mind. Like a lot of people would just give up, like, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna do something else. Like I'm gonna go ahead and just do nothing that's not IT related. Like, I'm just gonna go back to working in a supermarket or something like that. So the most important thing is to keep in mind is that you can't give up on yourself. Part of IT is not giving up on yourself, because if you give up, then you end up not getting that job. You gotta keep going. You know, you gotta keep going. And a lot of times it's either, and I tell people, like, a lot of times it's either your skills, it's either your resume, or it's what you're saying in a job interview. So you gotta keep all that in mind when you're going to an interview. If someone doesn't give you a chance, something happened, like whether you're good with soft skills or hard skills or tech skills, like you need to. That's the reason why we do these platforms. We have these two different platforms, because some people might be good at soft skills, and then some people might be good at technical skills. So you wanna be like somewhat in the middle, you know, if that makes sense. And actually, you're comfortable when you go to a job interview, because when that does happen, then you feel more confident in your ability, and you don't hesitate when you're answering questions when they're doing these interviews. That's why we do mock interviews. We do all these things in the back end. You know, it does give you more confidence, if that makes sense. So, and for Brad, he didn't give up. So like that's the one thing. Like I don't care about anything in this video about all the stuff we talked about. It's one thing is don't give up. Like that's the most important thing. You don't take anything from this video. Don't give up. So, and I'm Brad. I'm happy for you, man. You have no idea how happy I am for you. And you only
sure you know it.
You have the age, man. You have age. You will continue to grow. You'll probably be a manager way before me and Donish and everyone here. You don't know. So it's just like I'm super happy for you, man. I have no idea.
Make sure you know your resume. You can talk about your resume.
Yeah,
put anything on there that you do not know.
Do you want to answer some questions? I think Haifa can help us with that. Do you have any questions coming, Haifa, with the chat? I'm also looking at some.
Yeah, there's some questions in there. Yeah, it's a bunch of questions in there.
Actually, Danish, why don't you ask one? And
okay, so Aaron is asking Brad to you. No, sorry, James is asking. Sorry, what was something you struggled with during the internship, and how did you overcome that?
I mean, to be honest, I don't really know what I struggled with. I mean, like a lot of the stuff I already knew from like the fundamentals course, watching Kev's video and your videos. I mean, in the internship, a lot of this stuff was basic things. So, I mean, I don't know what I really struggled with. Because, I mean, as you saw on the score sheet and things, I like that one lab we did, I resolved the issue in like 30 seconds. Because I did the very basics. Just start off with the basics, and then like just don't go straight to
don't go too fast.
Right, too fast.
You went too fast, but you went from the basics.
Right. Just start at the basics.
But if you remember, I even told you to slow down in most of the cases. Right. Like anybody who does the lab fast, I even told them to slow down with stuff, because even though fast was to me was like, okay, I'm going to take that as a little negative in the beginning, right? That was the beginning part of it. Like when people were doing labs quickly and they would, okay, you're doing it fast, but still that's not the proper way, right?
I mean, it's a lot of attention to detail. Just look at the screens and look what you're viewing at, and just don't go too fast. I remember yesterday you're doing the putty thing with Fred, and like you said, the IP address of the host name, and he just got to pay very attention to detail.
And most of our lab stuff is on the screen most of the time. The errors are on the screen or it's in the documentation. So in batch one, I remember a lot of people didn't went to block 2 for troubleshooting. They did block 1 troubleshooting, but they didn't do block 2 troubleshooting for domain issue, right? And when they went to block 2, the error message was there, like even the screenshot was there, right? So a lot of people got stuck there. So it's just that for interns, I would say, just you got to make sure you look at the documentation very carefully. Now today, or even before this, I have a lot of people coming to me, how do you apply to internship? Then I tell them, did you watch the video fully? It has instructions in there. Right. And then if people are not watching, then of course, we're going to keep saying that. Did you watch it? Did you watch it? And I like to do that in my internship. Brad knows that. Did you do it? Did you watch the documentation? And then you ask me a question, I'll say it again. Did you watch the documentation? I'm not even answering the full answer there. So it's just that in reality, in the IT world, this is taken very negatively in your core team area or the people who teach you stuff, and then you ask for the same thing that they have taught you from the documentation. This is a culture. So I'm not just making this up. This is a culture in IT. If Keftek is my senior and he showed me something with documentation one time, he expects me to know this stuff now because he wants me to do practice.
They actually expect you to go and check the documentation before you even ask a question. So I know my director and my lead always say, oh, like if I ask a question because I'm in a hurry, which I don't usually do. Yeah, they're like, oh, we have a KB on that. KB being knowledge base. We have a KB on that. And I'm like, oh God, I should check first. But like, cause I'm in a rush and like, I'm also new to the field. But yeah, always check your documentation and read it thoroughly. People like to skim over because they're like, oh, I know IT. No, read every step, like sit there, understand it. There was another question for you. So I'm sure you've made like friends with, or at least acquaintances with the people that you work with. Aaron is asking, what do the other new hires for the company's IT department have for previous experience or certs?
One guy, he actually has about a year or two and as a field support. So he repaired computers and stuff. I think he said he was 22. He just did like internships and things. He didn't like get a full-time job or anything. He just did internships as like computer repair and things. And another guy, he's a little bit older than all of us. He did Amazon work through him. So I mean, he does have a little bit more experience. He has his A+, Network Plus, and then but I mean, like the new hires, I think we all have like the same amount of understanding and things. But I mean, like they don't have like crazy experience or anything like 5 years, 6 years. They all have like 2 or 3 years.
Okay. Just wanted to get into the chat a little bit. So there's like some conversation between a degree or certifications. Remember, guys, degree is always going to be valuable. No one will tell you that degree is not valuable. Certification is always going to be valuable. No one will tell you certification is not valuable. You just want to do things smartly. Go for degree. Don't stop your degree, but learn the skills, land the job, have your company pay for your degree. You see, that's smart now, because that's how I did it. I didn't went for a loan or anything like that. And I'm not saying this is going to help with, this is going to be like for everybody. What I'm saying is that when you got that degree, tomorrow when you're going for the management job, and let me give you an example. If you ever want to become an IT director or even a sysadmin, and one sysadmin is very technically good, right? He's a technical person. And the other sysadmin is good to do his job. So he's finishing his job, but he has a degree. You know who's going to get the management position? The person who have a degree. That's later on. But for the help desk job, you do not need a degree. You do not need certification. That's to get a job. What we are doing here is we are born, like I say, we are the babies of a problem. JobSkillShare is a baby of a problem that got created by certification and that got created by degree programs. Because when we went to these programs, they were not like this. They were not like real world skills or interview preparations or mock interviews. None of that stuff was there. So if there's a problem in the programs, then we have to say about it, right? That's why KevTech is doing his whole channel is about that. Isn't that what it is, right? Real world skills. Yeah, let's talk about this stuff. But we never discourage anyone to not go for these things because we are humans, and the way humans work, they go by trend. And the trend is they do need that papers, right? An HR person is not technical enough. So what are they going to do? What is the requirement for A plus for a help desk position? So what's going to pop up? A plus. So the HR person will say, oh, that is the requirement. Let me take that, put it in my requirement now. But you have to think like this. Is your goal is just to land a job? Because as soon as you land a job, we just talked about this, a stress will kick in. The stress of not knowing real world skills, and that's Active Directory, Office 365, and stuff like that. That stress will kill you more than anything else because you may even leave the job, even if you have the degree, even if you have the cert. Now, a lot of people say, no, I've done it for 15 years, but you did it. We're doing training, so we get people left and right every day, and just like what he was about to give up, and I think this is perfect example again. He was about to give up and say, this career is not for me when he was doing just certification. So he already killed his career. At some point, if he went a little further than that, of course, that would be it for Brad right there. Today, we won't have Brad here. But he went for a little bit more real world skills. Let me find a little bit more. Let me find some different programs. And he found a passion a little bit, like he found that I can do this. This is something that's very doable, right? Yeah, right, Brad?
Right. Yep.
So,
I mean, if I just listened to that one person at the college and just go get certification, I would have been out of here by now. And just no way I would have pursued it.
Yeah. So that is why this is a confusing area for a lot of people, by the way, because when people are not doing trainings and when they go with one specific route for 20 years, that IT professional thing, that is the only way for you to become an IT professional. No offense to pros out there. They're way better than us, to be honest. But they also have to understand trainers are different than a technical person, right? Trainers see, talk, they see the stress, they tell people about the issues, tiny things. That's not what a technician does. That's not his job. He's just doing his work, he's fixing things, but he's not focusing on Brad's stress. What is Brad's stress level? Why are you feeling like this? Let me work on this. No, none of that stuff works in IT like that, right? So they also need to understand that, and that's where I feel like there's the culture, and for new people. The reason I want to say this, so you guys don't get into this fight in this culture fight, right? Because you're going to come across people like that, and I'm not saying anything bad about them. I'm just saying that use the argument where I'm using right now that we have seen people from a different angle, different view than what they have seen. So at the end, you, Brad, you are the one who's going to be using your common sense. Is it good for me or is it not good for me? Just like you, like, okay, should I invest my time with this platform? Money, time, whatever it is. I feel like energy is more than time, more valuable than money. Sorry, your energy. So people need to start using their own common sense. What's important for them, what's not important, but they need to at least, kind of like weigh it together. And then make decisions. That's all what we're doing right here.
Brad, I'd like to ask you, because I know they started asking you and then I took you back a step, but I'd like to ask you about the interview process. Can you tell me, I remember we spoke about it a lot privately, but could you give everyone else a little bit of insight about the interview process?
It all started off with the talent acquisition, doing a phone screening. He mainly just asked me like what I did at my current job, what do I know? Like it wasn't like an interview kind of thing. He just asked me like what skills I knew. And that's when he said he'd call me back within a week or two. And then he called me back. He said they wanted to do an in-person interview. That's when I met with the team lead of the IT department and the IT department manager. And then that's when they asked me the skills and stuff I had again, what I did at DNV, which is Donner's internship. And then they nailed me with technical questions right away. They said, a website doesn't come up, more basic level things. What does ping do? What does netstat do? What does tracer do? And then going into like the first day, I started to realize why they started asking me these questions. because if a machine goes down, you got to ping it. I mean, a website goes down, you have to ping it. So I kind of like knew why they started to ask me those questions. And then they said, after I went out of the interview, they said they'll call me back within a week again. And they called me back like 5 days later, I think it was. And they said, no, I'm sorry, the talent acquisition called me back. And he said that they want to meet with the CIO with you. I said, okay, great. And then,
Sorry, before the CIO, remember you told me that you had to submit some kind of questions, and I was like, oh, I've never heard of that. What?
Yeah, so,
I want people to hear about that too, because that was something very different, at least for me. I hadn't heard of it.
Right. So, I mean, within this company, it's very important to know how to email people, how to submit a good business email, like not just a regular casual text message email kind of thing. And they said submit a challenge question of if a phone goes down. I forget what the other one was. Shoot.
It doesn't matter what it was. If you can give us like the example of one of them, I think that will paint the picture.
It was what if a landline goes down in the department, or if you cannot access the web on your cell phone. And they were trying to just see like my troubleshooting steps, my thought process. Like, did I take it too complex right away? Or did I start with the basics and stuff? And I just started with the basics. And then they kind of wanted to see like how I formatted emails and stuff. Like, did I know how to format them? Like, do I know what to put in the subject line? Nothing too vague or nothing too long, and stuff like that. And then I did submit a thank you letter within that to thank them for the interview.
Yeah, remember, like I think, Brad, you submitted a thank you letter after each interview, talent acquisition,
yes.
IT managers, and then also with the CIO. But okay, so and then let's move into the interview with the CIO. Tell me about that.
Yep. So the talent acquisition called me, so they wanted me with the CIO with you in person. And then the talent acquisition emailed me a day before the interview, said, we're sorry, but the CIO is just going to call you up. And I said, okay, that's fine. So the CIO called me. The CIO, he's not like a very technical person. He's more of a people's person. So he just asked me like what I did at Giant, like the things of when I stock the shelves, how do I stock them? Do I stock them like perfectly, or do I just throw the things up on the shelf? It was more like a people conversation kind of thing. He asked me what my hobbies were, like what I read daily and things like that. Did I like to cook and things? It was an interview I wasn't expecting, but I guess he was just trying to see my personality and things, which is a big thing since you're always on the phone and things. And then that's when
sorry.
And then that's when he said he would call me back within like it shouldn't be too long. So I was thinking maybe like an hour or two. He said he was gonna call the team lead and manager within 10 minutes. And then I waited a day or two and I heard no call back. So I emailed the talent acquisition and I said I was just the CIO told me he would get back with me within like an hour or two. And then he said, just give me a couple of days and they said should have an answer. And that's when he called me within a couple of days. And they said they would like to offer me the job. And then that's when I took it. Now,
I want to ask you how, again, we talked about this, but like, how did you prepare for the interview specifically with that company? I'm going to kind of lead you into like where I want you to focus this answer, because I know you did it, but like, did you research the company? Like, did you research the people in the company?
Right. So, I mean, when the talent acquisition sent me an email confirming the interview, and then at the bottom it said tips for success, and it actually said research the company, know what we're about, know what they do, and then that's what I did. I researched the company very thoroughly. I actually, when I went in for the with the team lead and manager, that was one of their first questions. What do you know about this company? I just started shouting out answers without even looking at anything because I prepared a lot for it. Because I mean, if you go into an interview and you know nothing about the company, that's going to show them why do you even want to be here? You're just here for a job and to get some money every week, basically. So.
And then with the CIO, remember like what we did before you met with him? Like we went through his like whole history.
Yes.
We like checked his LinkedIn and like just to see like what his interests were.
Right. Yeah. They said CIO was a very people's person. He said he's very smart. He actually graduated from MIT. Yeah, I think it was the MIT.
Yes, it is MIT.
Yeah. And then so I researched his profile to see where he's from. And then I told him, I was like, aren't you from India? He's like, oh, no. He was like, who told you that? I said, talent acquisition told me that. He was like, I don't know why he told you. I felt stupid right then and there telling him where he's from. He's not even from there. So I was like.
Okay. What was the most difficult question that you faced in each interview? So like for the first one with the team acquisition, the talent acquisition, and then the second one, and then the CIO, give me a question from each one that was really just like not difficult, but maybe threw you off that you needed a couple of like seconds to like gather yourself an answer.
I don't think there's really like, no challenging questions kind of thing, because when I talked with the talent acquisition, the initial phone screening, it was just like what you did with DMV. Like I already knew what I did and things. Like it was nothing like too major. And then when I went in for the in person, I mean, I guess like the thing that really stumped me with the in person with the team lead and manager was they just nailed me with technical questions right away. So it was like the first time seeing me, they asked what you know about the company. I gave them that answer real quick. And then they asked what you did at DMV. They asked me if I worked full time there or part time, and I told them. And then they just said, we're going to nail you with about 5 or 6 technical questions. And I was like, uh-oh, here we go.
While we are on this topic, this is a very important one, because a lot of people, when they're new and they don't have a company experience on their resume, right? That's a very big thing for a new person, right? They're like, I have the technical skills now, but how can I use this company on my resume? How did you felt about it? Because now after internship, you got a company name and you were putting that in there. How did that first help you? Or because your interview answers were also related to that. So I feel like your interview was a part of it. So what's your thoughts on that?
Right. I mean, they were actually mainly focused on the DMV. They asked me nothing about the grocery store, except for the CIO. But when I went for the in-person, it was just about your DMV IT solutions. They asked me just about that. They didn't even touch anything about the grocery store.
So I think we can then safely say that, use your current technical, whatever it is, project is it an internship? Is it some kind of like you helped some small company, but put that as a first, right? The latest one.
I did.
Yep. Okay, awesome.
Actually, since we're on the topic, sorry, I'm going to pull the whatever away a little bit away from Brad. Danish, can you announce when the third batch internship is going to start? Because I know a lot of people.
Okay, good.
Were asking me privately.
So basically, this current internship is ending in 2 weeks, and we are deciding to accept the forms by December 18. We are going to keep 1 week gap in between this process. So I feel like Haifa would agree with that. She's the administrator right here. So, so if somebody's saying, how do I apply to internship? We're putting a link in the chat right now. There's a video. You have to watch the video fully. You have to submit the form in our Discord, and then we check the form, and the first 10 people will basically get a response from us. If you are, let's say, the 11th or 12th person, then we're still going to respond to you if somebody get dropped from the initial interview process. So the way it works is that you have to finish fundamental course, which Brad, told you guys that you really need to finish that. Finish that course. It's very easy to finish. And then after that, when you finish that, then you submit the form, and then we take a basic interview from you. It's a skills interview. So we're just going to ask you like, can you do this? Can you do this? Very basic stuff, right? So if you pass that, you're in the internship. It's going to be 1 month internship, and it's free, guys. And a lot of people are asking me, should I become a premium member? Should I become plus member? We do not want to cash on this. We're telling straight people. We're giving you labs. We're giving you the content for 1 month. This internship is all free. I don't think Brad is here. We didn't ask for money here. So
I would like to add one thing. During the interview process for becoming an intern, we're going to ask things related to level 1, like troubleshooting steps for Windows 10, for Active Directory, questions about Active Directory user management, and a little bit of Office 365. You don't have to be an expert in these things, but we would like for all the interns to be at the same or a very similar level. Like we don't want an intern to come in like with no knowledge at all, then it's going to be like slowing down the batch and whatever. So we want you to at least have basic knowledge of those 3 specifically to become an intern. And yeah, like I just posted the video link, and you also have to be a part of the Discord. I will post both Job Skillshare Discord and KevTech Discord now.
Kev, do you have any questions?
Oh man, Brad is Brad, are you just quite a random question for me. Are you 'cause some people what happens is that they get a job and then they think ahead like too much ahead
Right.
like really ahead. Like I'm talking about like I'm gonna be a sysadmin, you know, like
Right.
do you have like that initial thought process right now, or no, you're just focusing on the job right now as far as like do you already know like what you want to do, like as far as like, so you're doing help desk, right? So like do you know what you want to do after that? Do you want to be a sysadmin? Do you want to maybe work on network admin? Do you want to be cybersecurity? Like do you have that in your head already, or you don't have that yet? I'm just
Yes.
wondering.
Currently, I am working at the help desk. I want to next go into like a networking kind of thing, like a networking admin or something like that, configuring switches, routers, stuff like that, and then move my way into cybersecurity as like an analyst or something. That's my main goal right now. But I'm not rushing anything at the moment. I want to get and help desk work there for about 2 to 3 years, maybe, or even longer, until I really feel comfortable, and then move into the networking things.
Okay. Yeah, good. Just wondering, just curious, because some people like they jump way ahead, like they go into the
Right.
future for some reason. I don't know what. Just wondering. And I'm gonna ask you one more. What was I gonna ask you? And this is just a personal question for me again. How do you feel like since you worked the first week so far in that job? Like how do you feel so far with the environment that you're in? Like do you feel like your coworkers are cool, if that makes sense? Like they're okay, like everyone's okay, you know, like they're no like everyone's willing to teach you and stuff like that. 'Cause sometimes you're I'm asking this because sometimes you go and work in a job environment where that's not the case. That's why I'm asking this question.
Right. Yeah. No, I actually feel great right now. They said within like the third week, they said they want to place us on the phones, and they said they will be shadowing us and things at the office. So, I mean, they're willing to teach you and things. And like the our trainer right now, she's very good at teaching. She's always over your shoulder looking to make sure you're doing the right thing and stuff. Like they're really there to help you and stuff and gradually get you into it. Like this is not the type of company where they're just gonna throw you into like the onto calls the first day. Like they actually want to train you and get you up and going, and then they'll throw you into cause and gradually get into the process of the daily life things that they do every day without.
Awesome, man. That's good. That's good. I was just wondering because some environments are not like, it depends where you work, obviously, but some environments are not like that. They just they just throw you in there like good luck. You know. Just wondering. Yeah, just wondering to see if anyone. I don't know if anyone have any questions in
So
chat.
someone did ask a question. They said, "How did you start your IT journey in a small age?" But I think you, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah, so I was going to answer that. The person
that
probably
was
just joined in.
answered. Yeah.
I would say watch this video from start, then join the communities. If you're still confused in the communities, which Steven says, Steven is another or pro of this community. So hi, Steven. And we are all working on a personal level. That's what he just said in the thing. Like, you know, you're basically like, if you have a question, okay, I am struggling in this area, then this Discord is the answer, to be honest, to a lot of people right now. Like when you have something very small going on, or you get stuck somewhere, even our courses are very big, to be honest. Like the platform is very big in a way, like content. So you got to be in Discord to even break our own platform. It's not easy to be solo in that platform. You can't just go in there because there's 5,000 videos. You won't be able to finish, a lot in a proper way. So you got to be in the Discord if you're serious about your career, because in Discord, we're not only just kind of like, chatting over there. There's like live sessions going on. There's like games going on. There's internships going on. Then we give labs to people to go ahead, try something out, practice something. We do a lot of things in Discord. And I think that's kind of like, I would say with Brad's story, the Discord is a big part of it, because it really happened on Discord, most of it, right?
Right.
Steven's IT Essentials actually just said something that's very true. He said, you'll have over 100 years of experience in the Discord channel, genuinely. You have system administrators, you have people in help desk, you have people in NOC. You have so many different people to guide you. If you're not part of the Discord communities, you're really, honestly, truly missing out.
So let me show on my screen quickly. A lot of people are asking, like, how do we kind of like start? So I want to show them on the screen, where, because a lot of people get confused or they don't finish the whole video, or maybe they missed that part. So I'm going to show that on the screen right now, and just kind of walk you through quickly. I won't waste too much time. So can you guys see my screen just to verify?
Yep.
Okay, so when you go to JobSkillshare and you register with the free membership, you don't need to pay anything. Just register with the free membership, click on Start Your Journey. This is our self-paced program. So let's say, for example, you want to start, you're doing this from scratch, and even if you want to be a part of internship, you still have to go through this route. You're going to click on Start Self-Paced Program. It has multiple courses in there, but the first course is called IT Fundamental V 1.0. Okay, so make sure you watch this video and then click on Go to Course. Now, if you are a free member, it's going to say Upgrade Membership, but Upgrade Membership is only for people to submit projects. We don't give our certification for free. So you can get to the content. You simply click on Go to the course. You go to this course, and now you're inside this course. Click on Start the course. And now when you're in this course, we want people to finish this course before they do internship. That's if you're brand new to IT. If you already have A+ certification, network, and you're super confident, just scroll all the way down and look at this right here, training, internship, how to apply. When you click on this unit, the video is right there. The instructions are right there. Why? And there's some important information about this. And it tells you step by step how you are going to download this, step 1, step 2, and submit it to our Discord. So how does it work? When you follow that, we're going to see something like this. So let me open this. Okay, getting some messages here. Let me open that. And if you come over here, you see that this is our Discord community right now. Like you can chit chat with people. Then we already, have LinkedIn connections, and a lot of different things are going on over here. And then when you come down, this is where they submit the form. So you can see already 3 people have already submitted the form. So now how many people are remaining in this internship? Only 7. So if you're watching this and you want to make sure you're part of these 10 people in that tree, you got to be in this list. So that's the process right there.
So we have 2 questions here. My question is this is from Billie Jean, and my question is what are Danish, Keftek, and Heifa's background? I'm really curious to know. You guys seem very experienced. Go ahead.
Kev, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So I work for, I do IT support for a hedge fund. I am the IT support guy for the CEO of the company. And I've been in IT for over 6 years, and I'm from New York. Simple as that, I guess.
Yeah, so my background is also started from help desk to a junior network admin, then sysadmin. I still work with nonprofit that I basically kind of like manage their a lot of stuff. And then I have my own company with my brother. I'm an IT director for them. And then, of course, I'm running this platform as well. So a lot of things.
Okay, so I am actually new to tech. I started learning with Danish's when he used to offer life skill training classes in April. And then Kev Tech and Danish and Steven's IT Essentials and Kepran's on Duncan. All 4 of them became my mentors and really trained me. And I recently got hired in a job, and I thought I got hired for level 1, but I actually got hired for level 2. And so I've been doing my level 2 job since then. And no, Estat, I am not a printer technician, even though you would like that, wouldn't you?
So just for FYI to people who are watching, Heifa is also a student of these communities. And she's a living example of how she got a level 2 job with no background in IT because of her skills.
And no certifications. However, since I already got a job and that stress has kind of like gone away from me. Now I'm focusing on getting my A+. I know that when you get a job, you don't really need your A+, but I would like to start from there and build up. Because I would like to see that on my resume. It's not necessary, like the gentleman said earlier.
Somebody asked, do you do one-on-one training for IT training? The JobSkillshare have paused the live training for a few months. We're going to introduce it again, but Keftek is doing in his Discord one-on-one. So join our communities. His Discord is also given there. Join that. He always put it there, and it goes like that, and like in a second. So you got to be active. But for JSS, we are going to introduce. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people should know that Keftek is doing one-on-one for free. We're a platform. We don't do one-on-one for free. So you need to make sure there's differences between these different trainings because we provide labs and we provide a lot of different resources. Haifa is actually a student of our live training. So even if you come to our platform, know that this is a community where we do a lot of things for free, but know that we are also a platform and we charge for certain things like labs or servers that we cannot offer for free. I just want to make sure that people understand that before they join our communities.
So the internships are actually, because someone just asked if you're available in the UK, the internships are actually international. We try to work with people, like we have people in the internships who are in Australia and India and like all over the world. We try to schedule based on something that will work for both sides. And so far, so good. I think we've managed to even get people in Australia to like schedule at a decent time with us. So yes, it's open for anyone.
Yeah. So to question that just a little bit more on that, these skills are universal. So we have people who have landed a job in Germany just now, or we have people who have landed a job in UK and US. So a lot of these things are universal or international. I'll make it a little better. So the second question was that, do you have any trainings on, somebody asked like networking or security? I just saw something. I saw a question.
Network security. Yep.
Yeah, so we don't have this level of training like the way we are doing it. This is all for help desk, the entry level positions. But in our JobScare Share platform, we have security labs and we have security courses and all that kind of stuff, the self-paced. But it's not like our focus is not that yet. This is where our focus is right now. So if you want to see like the same quality, you won't get that with the network admin or network engineer. We just have labs for them. We just have like hands-on equipments for them because we think that they already know a lot of stuff, and we just give them the kind of like a resource.
Brad, there's a question for you that I think is the most important question asked today. Brad, is your title going to switch from paintball for life to printers for life?
I just don't even play paintball anymore. A very old email that I created.
Printers for life. Nobody likes printers.
The first day we actually had a printer problem, and I was like, "Here we go."
Really?
Can you post your channel in the link so that we can also?
Okay, but let's be clear. My channel is like more of a hangout. It's not legit content like Kevtech has done. It's like a hangout where we learn things.
Of course, you have a printer problem.
All right, so I think we're done with this, but let's ask Brad. Do you have any questions for us?
I mean, do you have like any suggestions? Me moving on, like, what should I do to really advance my knowledge? Like, is there anything else I can do through Job Skill Share to like? Should I like take sysadmin courses or anything like that?
All right, so that's a good question. So as an intern, we gave you some bonuses, right? So we don't want to announce bonuses because we may not do that at batch 3 or batch 4. We don't know yet, right? So, but in your batch 1, because it was a little special batch, you have a very big access, even with courses. So what I told you is when you spend at least a month in this company and you study their environment first and come up with the list of things that what they're using. And you're going to tell me that, and then I'm going to say, oh, because of your access, you need to finish this to make it better for yourself. So that's your goal. So you just need to study, analyze what they're using, how they're doing the things. Focus on that only right now. Don't lose your focus. And then you'll come back to me, and then I'll say, okay, Brad, this is where few things you need to do. This course, and this course is going to be good for you because you have access to it, and you have lifetime access to it.
Also, Brad, I wanted to ask you for wait, Kevtech, do you have a question? Because mine is, I would like it to be like one of the final ones.
No, I don't have any questions. Brad mentioned printers. I'm going to be quiet now because he mentioned printers.
It was actually very simple.
Bradley,
long IP address. So
that's it. Okay, so my question to you is, what advice would you give the people who are watching you right now?
I mean, my advice would be just like focus on what you want to do within the help desk. Like, focus on that. Focus on getting the experience. Don't take it just don't like we said. We do promote bachelor's. I mean, we do promote college education and certifications, but do not go straight like just don't think you need a certification to get the job. Honestly, just sign up for the internship. If you get accepted, great. And then really just take advantage of that, really learn it, do the IT fundamentals course. And I think that would give you like a very good understanding of like what you're going to be experiencing in the common help desk level 1 world.
So somebody asked, how are you providing this access throughout the world, right? So for when somebody comes, when they're new, they're like, how are they doing this? I'm just going to show one quick example here. Okay, just a quick one. So for people who are asking, how are you guys doing this all around the world? We have our own platform, our own resources. So here we basically give you access to a machine, and that machine access to a virtualized environment. So you have, let's say, 16 GB RAM access. You basically go into this machine, you go into the desktop, and you connect, and now you're inside this machine now. That's all through the web base. So when you open this, basically the web browser, and you open that vSphere environment, then what happens next is all the administrators, all the interns, they can watch you. Everybody can watch you. And we learn technical skills just like that, okay? So this is a very practical thing. This internship is not theory. This is all hands-on. So you got to access like that. Somebody's watching you. They're knowing where you're having issues. So there's an Outlook issue going on. You spend, like, say, 20 minutes on trying to fix that issue. We will know that, okay, you're lacking some skills right here. So we take a note out of it. So it's very involved from our end too. That's why we're very picky when we say learn the basics, because we are not going to be able to invest that kind of energy with someone who doesn't know extreme basics. So that's how we provide it.
Bradley, thank you so much for everything. I'm so proud of you. And I'm so glad that like you always reached out and like we talked about it. You gave me so much insight. So yeah, thank you for giving us all this time to explain your process and what you went through. And I wish you nothing but success. And you know, I mean, I'm always here for you. I'm at the joy.
I mean, with Brad, the good thing is that you didn't give up, but also the good thing is that you actually like put in the work. You know, you gotta put in you gotta give part of yourself too if you're trying to get a job. You know, it's just you did all that, so you're good. And that's the only way. If you put in 100%, you're gonna get 100% back. You know, you gotta put 100% if you're trying to do something in IT. So, and like I said, I'm happy for you, man. Did a good job. From here, like for me, like personally, for me, like for you, like you could just only move up from here.
Right.
You gotta keep learning, do self-learning and everything. You can only move up. So you're good.
Yeah, I mean, same thing. But they have discussed with you. I already talked to you. I already know you're very passionate and you are not scared of things, which I really like about you. And that's something I kind of like, we went back and forth. Your confidence level is good and great. And I just gave you one tip. I think in the morning, don't go too fast. Right. Even if you're super confident, that doesn't mean you know a lot. Even us at this level, we think we're learning every day from other people right now. We're still on the same level. We are just exposed to something that we are good at, right? You're going to get exposed to many things like that. So don't try to do things fast. You want to take your time. Once you do that this way, you're not going to regret it. Most of the things in technology, you just won't regret it that way. But things just like that, you learn from your previous examples. Failures will come, rejection will come, and maybe even in this job, something will happen that you will really dislike. Take that as an experience. That's all I'm going to give you, and then go on that. But thank you so much for joining in. Thank you for giving us your own time and energy. We really like that. But this is episode 1, and I hope to see you more for episode 2, 3,
Sure.
And we're going to expand on your story till you become a CEO and we start making money out of you. But thank you so much, everybody in the chat, for joining us. I really appreciate you guys too. You guys are always helping Steven, Steve, S. Dodd, Nelson, everybody in the chat, and all the new people. Welcome
Kevrock.
you. Come and join the Discord. Kevrock, come and join the
Kevron's
Discord.
on Duncan, sorry.
Somebody says, "Can you give me these labs?" No, you have to be part of the internship. We can't give the labs like that. All right, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in a different video. Peace. And this is KevTech. This is KevTech.